Hey everyone, welcome back to Fresh from My Library. My name is Coaster Cat, and I am here with my movie partner in crime, Kay.
Hi,
And this week we're reviewing Loose Cannons, starring Dan Aykroyd and
Gene
Gene
Hackman,
Hackman and Dom
Dom
DeLuise.
DeLuise.
Although I feel kind of weird saying that it stars Dan Aykroyd, I should say it stars that dude who did the sound effects in Police Academy.
No,
Because that's essentially what he did.
no, he was a very smart, intelligent detective, but when he became under pressure or how do you say, tight spaces,
Claustrophobic.
right, or he felt that he was in danger, then he kind of just took on a
Put
bunch
him
of
up! Put him up!
a bunch of other people, a cast of all different people from
Yeah,
other
the Cowardly
movies.
Lion,
Yeah,
uh, Pee Wee Herman.
Butch and the Sundance Kid, Roadrunner.
Yeah,
So he had these things that were like his out and to deal with danger and bad people and stuff. So he was kind of like not schizophrenic, but a person that had multiple
okay.
one-liner personalities. So that kind of kept the movie going. Besides,
Nah, that kind of was like,
well, a hassle too. At first, and Gene Hackman didn't know what to think, and then it was the boss's nephew or something, or son, or cousin, or whatever. So, but Dan Aykroyd supposedly,
you're going to be talking a lot in this review because we just saw it and I can't fully remember what the plot was. 30 minutes in, I was like, what is going on? All I know is that they're trying to find something, and then at the end,
they're trying to find the
kaboom.
film. They're trying to find the
Oh,
film
yeah,
that Hitler
yeah.
that proved who actually killed Hitler and what disgusting things Hitler did on his side life with men and yeah, whatever.
As opposed to the adorable, beautiful stuff he did outside of that.
No, I'm talking about the adult life of two men. Well, him and a few other men.
Yeah, it was a known fact that he was gay.
Well, I just didn't want to say it or get into it. So anyway, it was this whole
As
thing.
Tony Baxter said, the two groups that you're allowed to make fun of that no one will defend are pirates and Nazis.
Okay, whatever.
So I think it's okay saying Hitler was a stupid, dumb gay guy.
No, you don't have to say it like that. He was just a very unlikable, unfriendly man that
Douchebag.
did not make good choices. Anyway,
That's
so
being generous.
so Gene Hackman had the character where nobody wanted to be his partner. Dan Aykroyd had a character where he was undercover and then got kidnapped and he was
It's the buddy cop formula.
right, but Dan Aykroyd spent a lot of months with the brothers, 2 years, remember? Because they messed him up when they took him undercover and everything.
Mm.
So he did a lot of meditation and painting and everything, trying to get back to normal with the monks. So since Gene Hackman did not have any more choices of partners, then the boss brought in Dan Aykroyd, I believe his nephew, to be partner with Gene Hackman, but didn't tell Gene Hackman right away what was going on with Dan Aykroyd as a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
So once he did,
Oh, I remember that now.
yeah, so then once he did, Dan Aykroyd tried to understand. And then they get involved in this case with Dom DeLuise, who was a dirtbag who had purchased this film about Hitler and was going to make millions, and then throw in this other group of people trying to get the film. The people from Israel And then you have the German guys that are trying to get the film back to protect their guy that had this wicked birthmark on the side of his face. So, yeah, so it was a calamity of all this, oh goshy darn type of gangs or guns chasing other people, and yeah, it was kind of mixed up, but there were quite a few scenes that I did really
Yeah.
laugh a bit.
I
So,
did like the car chase.
oh yeah, when they were in the van and the
Hmm.
seat that Dom
Oh, that
DeLuise,
car chase as well. Yeah.
yeah, that Dom DeLuise was, his seat broke loose. And there was nothing in the back of the van, and Gene
So they're just
Hackman,
like just rolling around.
yeah, Gene Hackman was trying to get away from the bad guys. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Uh, one bit that I thought was kind of okay, but it went on too long in retrospect, is the first thing with Gene Hackman and, spoiler alert, David Allen Greer. Do you remember that thing at the beginning? Where, because it was the 80s,
Oh yeah.
yeah, you always had to be careful.
Yes.
Which, I don't know, because
Well,
I wasn't alive for most of the 80s.
so just what it
But
was.
I really doubt that that is accurate. Or
What it was, well, they didn't know how to approach this apartment. People were calling that the people on the other side of the door in this small apartment,
yeah, they were making a lot of
they
noises.
were making a lot of noise as two consenting adults. And so they had the pressure of the tenants, and so they just kind of did this thing that they were acting like public health department, and making sure that they were using safe
Safety.
sex, yeah, safe sex, condoms and birth control and everything else, because it was the 80s, and that to just get these guys to quiet down so the tenants would quit calling the police station.
I really hope YouTube will let me monetize this video after you said the sex.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah,
But I did it in a safety reason.
it doesn't matter. YouTube
Okay,
is
that's fine.
stupid
So
regarding censorship laws.
Just erase it. It's fine.
Hashtag bleep you, PewDiePie. What else?
Nothing much. They end up at the gentleman that was going to sell the film to Dom DeLuise in New York City at his club. He gets shot in the shootout, but he tells Dan Aykroyd's character where the film is, so they end up at Grand Central Station in New York, the train station, and then the Israel guard end up there too, and Dan Aykroyd and Gene Hackman, they save the day. They kill the last German. Well, a couple Germans did get arrested at the train station, but they got the film to the Israeli, and everything was a-okay, and they...
Should we say how the film ends? Pun intended.
Well,
with Dom DeLuise,
Gene Hackman got shot in the knee, Dan Aykroyd got shot in the thigh. They all ended up at the hospital.
And where did Dom DeLuise get shot?
He got shot
in his tush, in his behind.
Yep, his back of his thigh and his behind. 12 shots or whatever. So he was not a very happy camper trying to sit around. And with his weight, he had a big donut because he had a couple holes. Buckshot.
Would you recommend the movie as a rental?
If you are really being silly and want to just have a laugh with something that is slapstick comedy, and you like Gene Hackman in his early days when he was funny.
And Dan Aykroyd
Which I don't know.
in the 90s.
Was he ad-libbing or was this in the script? I couldn't really tell.
If I were to guess, a lot of it was scripted, but probably when he does various voices, that was probably just in parentheses Dan Aykroyd stuff.
Yeah, maybe. And they probably asked Dan Aykroyd, what characters can you mimic? Because he actually did the actions plus the words, plus some of them he actually changed his voice.
Mm-hmm.
So he did a true imitation, of certain characters. So
Like PB. That's my name, don't wear it out.
and the Roadrunner. And there was a time that they were talking Pig Latin. So
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I would give it as a free rental if you had to. So check it out at the library or something.
Oh, that's your idea of a free rental. I thought you were going to say steal it. I'm like...
No, you probably can't even find it on YouTube. Well, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I was only talking about YouTube.
Whatever, Don't pirate it. Just go and get it from your local library.
Oof.
Have a bowl of popcorn, have some water or soda,
It's not
and just be ready to...
I've seen only a handful of Dan Aykroyd movies. He looked good in this one. He wasn't like
He was
muscular.
He was a little chubby.
No, but nowadays muscular.
But anyway, if you want just a quick laugh, go for it. If not, don't.
I would say rent it only if
It was free from the library.
you go to the library section and there's a bunch of there's like a bunch of movies and stuff. There's Bridesmaids, and then there's Whitney Cummings stand-up specials, and then there's Loose Cannons. Please see Loose Cannons.
Yeah, don't waste your time with the other two.
I would love to hear your review of some of Whitney Cummings stand-up, but okay. It's not a complete horrible movie, but it's
not new, okay?
yeah.
It's old routines, If you had a choice between Loose Cannons and Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, my gosh, take Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. That is a classic. You gotta watch that one. But Loose Cannons...
I haven't seen that.
Okay, well
So
then maybe you should.
For me, I would be like, I don't know, between The Other Guys and Loose Cannons, I would say watch The Other Guys for about 15 minutes, and that's funnier than Loose Cannons with The Rock and Sam Jackson.
That's about all you have to watch is the first 15 and the last half hour.
No, just the first 15, because
yeah, I know.
After that, they say bye.
But anyway. So you can make up your own mind on it, but like I said, I'm not going to repeat myself. So
it's not offensive. It's just very bland, with the exception of a few. It's like a glass of milk, but you've got a few bits of chocolate when Dan Aykroyd does voices.
Okay.
That's my best way to say it. So see ya. Tune in next time where we take a look at an action girl comic book movie.
Woo!
Or hopefully action.
Okay, good night, guys.
Bye.